So welcome to all of you Shiksha 360, and today basically we will comes up basically with MCQ series set number 6, and our target is basically for the December exam, November-December exam, and this is basically from the chapter number 4, and today basically we have to discuss total 14 questions, clear, along with the explanation, so that basically we are able to understand what is the meaning of the question and how basically we will move towards that answer, clear. So let's start, and I request to all of you, please participate, please answer. Only after that basically you are able to understand basically how we are thinking basically towards any specific question, clear. And even if you are not able to answer the correct answer, able to not give the correct answer, even after that basically you are able to understand basically where you will face difficulty, clear. So let's start. First question basically presents on your screens now. Question number 91. Classical theory of rate interest, clear. Classical theory of rate interest was propounded by the economists, clear. Classical theory of rate interest was propounded by the economists. First one is Marshall, second one is Fisher, third one is Keynes, fourth one here is Smith, clear. Fourth one here is Smith, clear. So please tell fast what is the correct answer. Please tell fast what is the correct answer. A and B, B and C, B and D, and none, clear. B and D and none, clear. So classical theory. So classical theory of rate interest was propounded by the economists Marshall, Fisher, Keynes, Smith. So what is the correct answer? Under chapter number 4, part 1, basically we have discussed regarding that, clear. First of all, basically I will tell you, this theory basically it is also known as the demand and supply theory, clear. Basically this theory it is also known as the demand and supply theory, clear. Basically this theory is also known as the demand and supply theory, and this theory basically was propounded by the economists Marshall and Fisher, clear. Marshall and Fisher, clear. So A and B both are the correct one, clear. A and B basically both are the correct one. So what is the answer here? This one and this one, that is this and this. So option number A is the correct answer, that is Marshall and Fisher, clear. That is Marshall and Fisher, clear. So option number A is the correct answer, that is classical theory of rate interest basically was propounded by the economists Marshall and Fisher, and this theory it is also known as the demand and supply theory, clear. This theory basically it is also known as the demand and supply theory. Now move to the next question. Question number 2. So which of the following is both a financial asset and the least liquid, clear. Which of the following basically it is both a financial asset and the least liquid, clear. We have to tell that basically that is also the financial asset and the least liquid, clear. Cash, bonds, bank deposit, and loan, clear. We know that cash is the most liquid, clear. Basically cash is the most liquid form. Cash is the most liquid form, clear. And after that basically bank deposits, clear. Basically after that basically bank deposits, clear. Cash, because it depends upon the depositor, clear. Because it depends upon the depositor basically when they want to withdraw their funds, clear. Basically when they want to withdraw their funds. Third one, that is the bonds, clear. Third one, that is the bonds, clear. Among the most liquid, third one here, that is the bond, and the least liquid, that is the loan, clear. Least liquid, that is the loan, and it is also financial asset. And it is the least liquid, clear. And it is the least liquid, clear. Basically why bond? Because it is a tradable, clear. We can sell and get the money. So the least liquid here, that is loan. Option number D is the correct answer, clear. Option number D is the correct answer, that is the loan, clear. Now move to the next question. Very easy question. So I request all of you, please participate also. The concept of liquidity preference was introduced by. The concept of liquidity preference was introduced by Milton Friedman, John Maynard Keynes or J.M. Keynes, Alfred Marshall or Adam Smith. Clear? Or Adam Smith. So what is the correct answer? Please tell. The concept of liquidity preference theory was introduced by Milton Friedman, J.M. Keynes, Alfred Marshall, or Adam Smith. Clear? Alfred Marshall or Adam Smith. Clear? So what is the correct answer here? The correct answer here, that is option number B, that is J.M. Keynes. Clear? John Maynard Keynes. Clear? So option number B is the correct answer. That is liquidity preference basically was introduced by John Maynard Keynes. Now move to the next question, question number 94. Now move to the next question, question number 94 here. The rate of interest. The rate of interest according to J.M. Keynes, basically it is determined by, clear? I have already discussed with you, clear? Basically the rate of interest according to J.M. Keynes, clear? Basically that theory, basically it is totally based on two things, clear? Demand for money and the supply of money, clear? The rate of interest according to the J.M. Keynes, basically it is determined by the demand for money, supply of money, or interest fixed by the central bank, or interest fixed by the central bank. What is the correct answer? Basically, it is determined by the demand for money and the supply of money. Clear? Basically, it is determined by the demand for money and the supply of money. Clear? So, what is the correct answer? Both A and B. That is option number A is the correct answer. That is A and B. Clear? That is A and B. Clear? That is demand for money and the supply of money. Clear? Please remember both these things. Now, move to the next question. Very easy question. People demand money for the precautionary motive. People demand money basically for the precautionary, basically as a precaution motive, because the rate of interest is expected to fall, the price of bonds basically is expected to rise, they need cash for everyday purchases, or they wish to provide against unforeseen contingencies. Clear? Or they wish to provide against unseen for contingency. Clear? Unforeseen contingencies. Clear? So what is the basically people demand money basically for the precautionary motive. Clear? What is the reason behind that? That the interest rate of interest is expected to fall, price of bond is expected to rise, they need cash basically for the everyday purchases, or they wish to provide against unforeseen contingencies. Clear? The correct answer here, option number D, that is basically they wish to provide against unforeseen contingencies. Clear? Basically they wish to provide against unforeseen contingencies. Clear? So option number D is the correct answer. Now, very, very important question. If the money demand curve basically shifts to the left, if the money demand curve basically shifts to the left, interest rate and bond prices, clear? Basically, if the money demand curve, basically they can say that it shifts earlier this one, or it shifts to the left. Clear? If the money demand curve basically shifts to the left, interest rate, what will happen to the interest rate? Basically, interest rate basically will fall. Clear? Basically, interest rate basically will fall in that case. And we know that basically in the money demand curve, clear? Basically in the money demand curve, bond price and rate of interest are inversely proportional. Clear? If the rate of interest is going to fall, so the bond of price, basically price is going to be rise. Clear? Bond price is going to be rise. Clear? So if the money demand curve basically shifts towards the left, interest rate is going to be fall and the bond price is going to be rise. Clear? And the bond price is going to be rise. So option number A is the correct answer. Clear? Basically, if the money demand curve basically shifts to the left, so basically what will happen? In that case, basically the interest rate is going to be rise, and bond price is going to be sorry, interest rate is going to be fall and the bond price is going to be rise. Clear? Bond price is going to be rise. Clear? So the correct answer here is to be option number A. Clear? The correct answer here is to be option number A. Now, little bit explanation. So when the demand curve basically shifts to the left, what it shows, basically it shows a decrease in the demand for money. Clear? So basically when the demand curve basically shifts to the left, basically what it shows, basically it shows a decrease in the demand for money. Clear? Basically if there is a decrease, so the nominal interest rate declines. Clear? So the what will happen, the nominal interest rate declines, and there is a greater interest rate advantage in holding other assets basically instead of the money. Clear? And there is a greater interest rate advantage in holding basically other assets basically the instead of money. Just you have to remember that when the money demand curve basically shifts to the left, interest rate falls, and if the interest rate falls, basically bond price rise. Clear? Because both are inversely proportional to each other. Clear? Because both are inversely proportional to each other. Now move to the next question, question number 97. Rate of interest in the market is decided by the demand for and supply of money. Clear? Is decided by the basically demand for money and the supply of money. Clear? Demand for money and the supply of money. It is the crux of which theory of interest? Clear? Basically it is the crux, or we can say that basically it is shown by which theory of interest? Clear? Traditional theory of interest, Keynes theory of interest, IS and LS curve theory, or none of these. Clear? Basically, or none of these. Clear? Because all these things basically it is shown by, clear, all the things basically we have discussed under the part 1 of chapter number 4. Clear? Basically it is shown by the Keynes theory of interest. Clear? Basically it is shown by the Keynes theory of interest. Clear? So option number B is the answer here. Clear? Option number B is the answer here. And what is the name of the book given by the Keynes? That is the General Theory of Employment. So basically it deals with the employment, interest and money. Clear? Interest and money. Clear? So the rate of interest basically it is the market decided by the demand for money and the supply of money. Clear? It is basically decided by the demand for money and the supply of money. It is basically it is the crux of which theory of interest? That is the Keynes theory of interest, and the name of the book basically given by the Keynes, that is the General Theory of Employment, Interest and Money. Clear? General Theory of Employment, Interest and Money. Now move to the next question, question number 98. An increase in the demand for money would result from an increase basically in the demand for money basically would result from a decrease in the nominal GDP, a decrease in the real GDP. Basically, we have not discussed regarding the GDP in this session. Clear? Basically, in this chapter regarding for the demand of money, a decrease in the price level or increase in the price level. Clear? Basically, increase in the demand for money basically would result from an increase in the price level. Clear? An increase in the price level. So what is the answer? That is option number D is the answer. That is, it is basically leads to the increase in the price level. Clear? So option number D is the correct answer. This question basically we have already discussed. So please try to answer this question. Which of the following, or which is the most accurate statement? Clear? Basically, which of the following, which is the most accurate statement regarding the demand for money? Clear? Basically, regarding the demand for money. Clear? We already discussed that is a precautionary motive. Clear? That is the precautionary money. Demand is directly related to the GDP. Transaction money demand basically is inversely related to the return on bonds. Speculative demand is inversely related to the perceived risk of other assets, or none of the above. Clear? Or none of the above. Clear? So which of the following is the most accurate statement regarding the demand for the money? Clear? Basically regarding the demand for the money. So precautionary money. Clear? Basically precautionary money demand. Clear? Basically it is directly related to the GDP. Clear? Basically why precautionary money? Basically to protect from unforeseen. Clear? Basically to protect from unforeseen activities or events. Clear? To protect basically from unforeseen activities or events. Clear? Activities or events. So option number A is the answer. Clear? That is precautionary money demand. Basically, it is directly related to the GDP. Clear? Now move to the next very easy question. Supply curve basically relates quantity supplied to. Supply curve relates quantity supplied to basically option number A is supply, option number B is income, option number C is price, option number D is demand. Clear? So basically quantity is basically with respect to the supply curve basically relates quantity supplied to supply, income, price, demand. So basically quantity basically depends upon the price. Clear? Basically quantity basically depends upon the price. Clear? Here basically not option demand. That is basically under the demand curve. Clear? Supply curve basically relates quantity supplied to price. Clear? Quantity supplied to price. Clear? Option number C is the correct answer. Clear? Option number C is the correct answer. In the chapter number 2 also basically we have discussed regarding that. Clear? In the chapter number 2 also, when we have discussed regarding the supply curve and demand curve. Clear? Basically we have discussed in detail all these things. Clear? So supply curve basically relates quantity supplied to the price. Clear? Quantity supplied to the price. So option number C is the correct answer. Now move to the next question. Question number 101. In the open economy macroeconomic model. Clear? In the open economy macroeconomic model, the demand for loanable funds basically comes from. Clear? The demand for loanable funds, that is basically for basically which are provided in the form of the loan. Clear? Loanable funds comes from. Clear? The demand for loanable funds basically comes from. So where the demand is to become domestic investment, net export, net capital outflow, or the sum of the net capital outflow and the domestic investment. Clear? Or the sum of the net capital outflow and the domestic investment. Clear? So what is the correct answer? What is the correct answer? Correct answer, that is basically we know that basically it is a sum of the net capital outflow and the domestic investment. Clear? Basically the demand for loanable funds basically comes from the sum of the net capital outflow and the domestic investment. Clear? And the domestic investment. Clear? So option number D is the answer. Clear? Option number D is the answer. Basically in the book basically, or basically in the session basically, we have discussed regarding the demand for savings and supply of savings. Demand of savings and supply of savings. Clear? Basically we have discussed in detail regarding that. Clear? From that basically we are able to give the answer of this question. Clear? Basically from that thing basically we are able to answer the question. Clear? For answer this question. Clear? Basically demand for saving, basically from where basically demand for saving basically will come. Demand or saving basically will come from the investors. Clear? Demand for saving basically will comes from the investors, from basically for investment in business activities. Clear? Basically in business activities. Why they basically will do investment? Clear? Basically why they basically will do investment? Because to get the higher returns. Clear? Basically to get the higher returns. Clear? And when the demand for investment is high, when the capital as a factor of production basically gives the return high. Clear? Basically gives the return high. At that time basically more people will invest under that. Clear? Basically more people will invest under that. Okay? So the correct answer here, that is option number D, that is the sum of the net capital outflow and the domestic investment. Clear? And the domestic investment. Clear? Okay, this is the demand for saving. That is basically we are demanding for the funds. Clear? And next one is the supply of saving. Supply of saving, that is basically you have sufficient funds in your hand. Clear? Or more than sufficient funds. Clear? So you have to put your excess funds. Clear? Basically you have to put basically your excess funds. Clear? Like in the bank. Clear? That is basically supply of saving. Clear? That is basically known as the supply of saving. So please tell fast now. All of you are able to remember basically what is the meaning for demand for saving and what is the meaning of demand, sorry, supply of saving. Clear? Supply of saving. Clear? Just go through the chapter number 4, part 1. You are able to remember all these things. Clear? Only after that, basically, you are able to answer these questions. Clear? These are the technical type questions. Clear? Not easy questions as we are seeing that. Now move to the next question. A 5% increase in the income. Clear? Basically, a 5% increase in the income leads to a 12% increase in the demand for mobile phones. Clear? Basically, leads to an increase in the 12% in the demand for the mobile phones. Clear? So what is the correct answer? It follows that. So first of all, basically, we have to calculate the income elasticity of demand. Income elasticity of demand, basically, how we can calculate? Percentage change in demand upon percentage change in price. So what is the percentage change in demand? That is 12. Percentage change in price, that is 5. So it comes out to basically 2.4. Clear? It comes out to basically 2.4. So income elasticity of the demand is 2.4 here, 0.24 here, 0.24. Clear? So the correct answer is option number A. That is the income elasticity of the demand is 2.4. Clear? And the mobile phones are normal goods. Clear? So we will go with the option number A. That is income elasticity of the demand is 2.4 and the mobile phones are normal goods. Clear? But here, only option number A is given, that is 2.4. Clear? If we will see that option number D is also given, income elasticity of the demand is 2.4 and the mobile phones are superior goods. Clear? And mobile phones are superior goods. So basically we will go with that option. Clear? Basically we will go with that option. Clear? Where they will give the superior goods. Clear? Why? I will tell you. That is basically, or we can say that's luxury goods. Clear? Basically that when it is basically more than one. Clear? Basically it is more than one, that it is basically comes under the superior or the luxury goods. Clear? Basically superior or the luxury goods. Clear? So basically we will go with that option. Clear? Basically we will go with that option. Clear? If they will give one more option, and that basically in the income elasticity of the demand is 2.4 and the mobile phones are basically superior goods. Clear? Mobile phones are superior goods. Clear? So that is basically more better option. So option number A is the correct answer here. Now move to the next question. Which theory it is also called the neoclassical theory of rate of interest? Clear? Which theory basically it is also called as the neoclassical theory of rate of interest? Risk theory, liquidity preference theory, both A and B are option number C. Option number D is loanable funds theory. Clear? Option number D is loanable funds theory. Clear? So the neoclassical theory of rate of interest, basically it is known as the loanable funds theory. Clear? Basically it is known as the loanable funds theory. So option number D is the correct answer. So the neoclassical economists basically developed the loanable funds theory of interest, which is an improved version of the classical theory of interest. Clear? Basically it is an improved version of the classical theory of interest. Clear? Sometime in the examination, just they are asking which of the following is the improved version of the classical theory of interest? That is the loanable funds theory. Clear? That is the loanable funds theory or the neoclassical theory. Clear? And further, basically, according to the neoclassical theory, interest is a reward. Clear? Basically, according to the neoclassical theory, basically, interest is a reward for the use of the loanable funds. Clear? Basically, according to the neoclassical theory, interest, it is a reward. Clear? Basically, interest, that it is a reward for the use of the loanable funds. And the rate of interest, basically, it is determined by the demand for and the supply of loanable funds. Clear? And the rate of interest, basically, how it is determined? Basically, by the demand for and the supply of loanable funds. Clear? And the supply of loanable funds. Clear? We can say that if there is more demand and less supply. Clear? So basically what will happen there is leads to the increase in the rate of interest. Clear? And we can say that more demand and less supply, or less demand and more supply, that leads to the decrease in the rate of interest. Clear? That leads to the decrease in the rate of interest. Clear? So according to the neoclassical theory, basically interest is a reward for the use of loanable funds, and the rate of interest, basically it is determined by the demand for and the supply of loanable funds. Clear? Demand for and the supply of loanable funds. Clear? So one question basically from my side to all of you. Neoclassical economics. Clear? Basically name of the economist. Just for the knowledge purpose, clear, what is the name of the economist? You have to tell that. Now move to the last question of our today discussion. If the price of the corn rises by the 5%, clear, basically if the price of the corn basically rises by 5% and the quantity demanded for the corn basically falls by 1%, clear, and the quantity demanded basically for the corn basically falls by 1%, then what will happen? So first of all, basically we know that basically income elasticity. How we can find that of the demand? Percentage change in quantity upon percentage change in price. So percentage change in quantity, that is 1. Percentage change in price, that is 5. So it is 1 by 5, clear? So it is not the answer, it is not the answer. So either this one is the answer or either this one, clear? So either option number B is the answer or option number D is the answer, clear? So here, income elasticity, clear? Basically income elasticity, it is to be less than 1, that is 0.20. So it is basically known as the price inelastic, clear? It is known as the price inelastic, clear? So basically it is known as the price inelastic, clear? If it is less than 1, clear? If it is less than 1, clear? That is price inelastic, okay? So please remember all these things and just basically you have to remember these formulas, clear? Sometimes basically they will ask question on that, clear? Not regularly, basically sometimes, clear? Just basically you have to understand the theory for answer these types of questions. Let little bit more understanding regarding that, clear? Regarding that. So a negative income elasticity, clear? A negative income elasticity of demand basically it is associated with the inferior goods, clear? Basically with the inferior goods, and increase in income will lead to a fall in the quantity demanded, clear? Basically in the increase in the inferior goods basically, and increase income basically will lead to the fall in the quantity of the goods, clear? Next one, a positive income elasticity of demand basically it is associated with the normal goods. In that basically what will happen, an increase in income will lead to the rise in the quantity demanded, clear? Basically in that case basically what will happen, an increase in the income basically will lead to the rise in the quantity demanded, clear? If the income elasticity of demand of a commodity basically it is less than 1, clear? Basically it is less than 1, then it is to be known to be as the necessity goods, clear? Basically it is known to be as the necessity goods, clear? That is necessity good. And the income elasticity of demand basically it is greater than 1, like basically we have discussed in the case of the mobile phone, clear? If it is greater than 1, then it is basically considered to be as the luxury good or a superior good, clear? Basically in that case basically it is to be considered as the luxury good or the superior goods, clear? This necessity good we can also say that the normal good. And if it is greater than 1, then it is to be considered as the luxury good or the superior goods, clear? And if it is 0, a 0 income elasticity of demand basically means that an increase in the income does not change the quantity demanded of the good, clear? Basically an 0 income elasticity of the demand, clear? 0 income elasticity of the demand basically means that an increase in the income does not change the quantity demanded of the good, clear? Basically does not change the quantity demanded of the good. That is basically known as the an increase in income does not change the quantity demanded of the good, clear? Basically does not change the quantity demanded of the good, clear? That is basically known as the 0 income elasticity, clear? 0 income elasticity. So this is the brief discussion of our today's question. Hope all of you are able to understand all these points. This is a graphical representation. Okay. Less than 0, inferior. 0 to 1, basic or necessity. And greater than 1, superior or luxury. Clear? Greater than 1, superior or luxury. Okay. So please remember all these things. In the next session, basically, we will discuss some more questions. And just I request to all of you, please go through the theory very well. Clear? Please go through the theory very well. Only after that, basically, you are able to answer the question. Otherwise, basically, it becomes very difficult for you to answer these questions. Clear? It is a little bit typical topic. Clear? Not that much easy like the earlier topics. Clear? So please go through that topic at least 2 to 3 times. So thanks to all of you for joining this session.